Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Browsing Africa, a new show on Canal Algérie. As the title hints, we are going to take a tour around the continent to discover more on the potentials of Africa, whether in agriculture, economy, trade, culture, arts, and much more. See you in a bit to discover tonight's story. The first story is going to be about the 49th African Insurance Organization seminar that took place in Algeria and highlighted the importance of agricultural insurance. In a related context, we are going to talk about the Sustain Africa and Extra Trading Group initiative to help reduce the price of fertilizers in Ghana and by this further support the agricultural sector in the country. And in economy, we are going to talk about the African single trade currency that, if implemented, will help boost the inter-trade in Africa and overall the continental economy, the prospects and challenges. And the last story is going to be from Nigeria, related to art in the 2023 Nigeria-China Painting Award ceremony under the theme My Dream, that reflects the creativity of Nigerian youth. See you in a bit to discuss the details of all of these stories. First, international experts and professionals gathered in Algeria for the 49th African Insurance Organization seminar here in Algiers, which revolved primarily about the role of the insurance sector in achieving food security, and a set of recommendations was presented following this seminar, as we will see in this story by Najah Tayyar.
At a time when Africa is facing the challenge of food security and climate change, the insurance sector is called upon to play a key role in the socio-economic development in the African countries, with the key sector agriculture, which suffers from the vagaries of the weather. One of the most important links that requires a common African action is the African Insurance Organization. The participants in the 49th Conference and General Assembly of this organization, which is being held in Algiers, pleaded for resilience strengthening at the continental level to fight against climate risks and to promote agricultural insurance in Africa.
So we are looking at ways of how we can promote the issues of insurance, create awareness, and then at the end of the day, the insurance industry in Africa grows. I also want to acknowledge that Algeria, to a large extent, in terms of insurance, when we are comparing Africa, in terms of penetration, Algeria currently occupies number 6. I think number 6 in the continent. We believe with this conference, the people of Algeria will embrace insurance and more will be insured. And you know, insurance is a catalyst in the economic development of any country.
This meeting, that gives a particular interest to the current situation, focuses on insurance improvement and its contribution in facing the food security challenges in Africa. The participants come from the 5 continents. We reached a number of more than 1,800 participants. Among the solutions proposed in all countries and in Algeria as well is to adapt the regulations and the legislations to these new challenges. Improving the laws to ensure the needs of all branches combined is necessary. These changes are not specifically for the agricultural branch despite its great significance, but the improvements have been made in all economic branches to strengthen the resilience in the market. The proceedings of this conference are to go on till Wednesday. On this occasion, Algeria will take annual presidency of the African Organization of Insurance.
And we remain with agriculture, which is a key sector for economy, this time with the initiative of Sustain Africa and Extra Trading Group to provide farmers in Ghana with the fertilizers they need at the prices they prefer. Story by Esther Aido.
Agriculture remains an important pillar of Ghana's economy, employing nearly half of the workforce and contributing about 20% to the nation's gross domestic product GDP. Although growing at an annual average rate of about 5% over 10 years, some teeth and challenges such as the cost of inputs have deterred the desired growth in the sector. Prices of inputs such as seeds and fertilizer plus machinery constitute about 85% of the cost of production for a farmer in Ghana. launching the Sustain Africa ETG initiative to help reduce the prices of fertilizers in Ghana, the Minister for Agriculture, Mr. Brian Achampong, said a new program will be launched next month where the input companies will supply seedlings and fertilizers to farmers and receive payment from the government at the end of the planting season.
The previous program that we had, which is a subsidy program, was only taking care of 15% of that cost of production, which is the subsidy that we're giving on seed and fertilizer. With a new program, we are going to facilitate the ETGs of this world, the ETGs of Ghana, to provide these fertilizers, these seeds, to farmers and get paid after the planting season in crops which will be traded at the Ghana Commodity Exchange. The delay that you are having in your payments through the PFJ will be gone and will never affect your business.
The Executive Director of Sustain Africa, Mr. Ben Volk, said the Sustain Africa initiative is to make fertilizers available and affordable to smallholder farmers across the continent.
Sustain Africa is open to any other partner, and it's a not exclusive partnership. There's no exclusivity to anyone. We have multiple seed suppliers in the program this year, crop protection suppliers, and we're also very grateful for AFAP as the extension service provider.
The country manager of the Africa Fertilizer and Agribusiness Partnership, Nana Aisha Mohammed, said an equitable distribution of inputs is key to develop the agriculture sector.
Economy now, where we are going to talk about the African single trade currency, an idea that, if implemented, will help boost the inter-African trade and overall the economic development of the continent. Let's discover more about the requirements to implement this idea and the challenges that it might face in this story by Nana Asha Abwaji.
The private sector plays a vital role in the economy by creating jobs, providing goods and services, and stimulating economic growth. Government is cognizant of this role and wants to work with the private sector to better the lives of the citizens. Small and Medium Enterprise Development Minister Elias Mubanga says the private sector is a strong driver to economic development.
The government presses private sector enterprises, the development and growth of micro, small and medium-sized businesses, in particular at the center of production and trade, to achieve our overall objective of economic growth.
And Zimbabwean ambassador to Zambia, Charity Charamba, believes her country and Zambian private players are strategic partners in harnessing the two countries' bilateral relations.
It is exciting to see the CEO Africa Roundtable expanding and covering other African countries, particularly neighbors to Zimbabwe, who remain important partners in both trade and investment.
Meanwhile, CEO Africa Roundtable chairperson Oswo Owina says Zambia offers a conducive business environment for the private sector to thrive.
And I hope and trust that Charles and team are going to position themselves to be able to exploit the enormous potential Zambia has to be able to coordinate linkages between Zimbabwe and Zambia.
And CEO Africa Roundtable Zambia Chapter Interim Chairperson Charles Nakoze says the CEO Annex in Zambia will work at advancing economic development.
In a bid to attain strategic partnerships and enhance its vision, which advocates for coordinated and shared corporate work, thriving for inclusion and sustainable economic development across Africa.
The launch of CEO Africa Roundtable Zambia Chapter is aimed at increasing the organization's footprint across the continent through peer-to-peer engagements, capacity building, and investment facilitation, among others. Macpherson Mukuka, ZNBC News, in Lusaka.
Let's head to Nigeria now for arts, where young students expressed ideas and emotions in paintings that were displayed and awarded at the 2023 Nigeria-China Painting Award ceremony organized by the Chinese Embassy in Nigeria. Juliana Nicholas reports.
Creativity at its peak. It is the 2023 China-Nigeria Painting Competition Award ceremony jointly organized by the China Cultural Center in Abuja and the Federal Capital Territory Secondary Education Board. The competition, which started with more than 10 entrants of the China Corner schools in the FCT with 100 pieces of paintings collected, it all comes down to the top 5 finalists in this hall. These works of art on display are products of undergraduate students of FCT secondary schools.
For this competition that we're seeing that has come to forth for awards today, honestly, it is in the followership of a system that has developed for us to stay together, live and to love ourselves. And we'll say, long live Nigeria, long live China.
Over 40 African countries, over 3,000 paintings. Among them, Mr. Prosper's painting win first prize.
The competition is poised to groom and support young Nigerians to harness their potential in creativity.
I'm very excited. I'm happy that we are known all over the world for good things, not for the wrong reason. So I'm very happy. And the captivating thing there is the dream. Everybody has a dream. So the dream they have and the competition, marrying them together, this will make them feel a sense of belonging, that they have something to offer to the society.
With the theme, My Dream, a winner has emerged, but take home for these young creative minds is to translate their passion for economic growth as well as a tool for sustainable development. In Abuja, Juliana Nicholas, NTA News.
Those were tonight's stories. The next segment is the expert opinion, so stay tuned. And in today's segment of Expert's Opinion, we have Mr. Monsef Boudarba, who is the head of Algerian Ceramic Producers Organization, to tell us more about the importance of the African Continental Free Trade Area for Algerian producers. Let's watch.
We are very pleased to announce that Algeria is going to join the ASLECAF in terms of exports. And as you may know, the ASLECAF is a huge market, $600 billion of importations that will give a chance to Algeria manufactured products to go in the African market. And Algeria has a great opportunity to go there and compete, because we, as you may know, we have international and high quality standard of manufactured goods. So we hope that this will give Algeria to penetrate the African market and to show that Algeria is an industrial power in Africa, and all the possibilities are already offered to our members and ceramic producer, and I wish them the best to go there and to try to get into the African market and to compete in quality-wise and quantity-wise. I hope this all, let's say, campaign of export will take place very soon and will help Algeria to join the Export Country Club, which is very important for the Algerian economy to diversify his potential and its revenues. And thank you very much.
And with that, we reach the end of the first episode of Browsing Africa on Canal Algérie. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed and discovered more about this beautiful continent. I'm Lisa Sest Qawi. Take care.